Hey coach, welcome to the Profitable Coach Roadmap. In this training, I'm going to show you how I went from a struggling vocal coach to growing my coaching business to $5,000 plus per month, working less than 8 hours a week while full-time employed. And by the end of this training, you'll know how you can take this exact same framework and use it to grow your coaching business. Now, if you're incredibly active on social media, so you post multiple times a week but aren't seeing any business success, or worse, you don't even know how to measure business success, if you're constantly lowering your prices to get a client, or worse, you work for free in the name of getting more experience, and if you're struggling to predictably generate meaningful income for your coaching business and your life, then going through this training could be the single most important decision you ever make this year as a coach. That said, this training is not for you if you are an aspiring coach. So you've never worked with someone before, you've never gone through a formal coaching program, you don't have any certification, and you're just starting out. If that describes you, then this training is not for you. This training is also not for you if you're a sports coach and you're looking to secure better employment at a school. If that's you, in this training, I'm not going to show you how to get a job. I'm going to show you how to build a highly profitable coaching business. If that's you, then this training is not for you. But this training is 100% for you if you've gone through some kind of formal coaching program and now have the certification, if you've worked with clients before, whether for free or for a fee, and if you are the proof of the process you preach. In other words, you have experienced the transformation and now you want to help your ideal clients experience the same. If that describes you, then this course is 100% made for you. Because here's the hard truth most coaches struggle to understand. It's not enough to just be a great coach. You're probably an amazing coach. Your coaching business is still a business, and to succeed, you will still need systems, structure, and support. Without this, you will not grow your coaching business. And that is exactly what this training is going to do for you, to provide you with a step-by-step guide, a framework to grow your coaching business to $5,000 plus per month without sacrificing your health, your happiness, and relationships. Now, I know that those are very bold promises or bold claims to make. And here's what you should be asking yourself. How do you know if this framework will work for you? And more specifically, who am I and why should you listen to anything I have to say? Great questions. Here are the answers. If we haven't met, hi, I'm Nathan. I'm a mechanical engineer turned vocal coach and I run multiple online businesses. Using the exact same framework you will learn in this training, I started a paid online community, the Passion to Profit Formula, at the beginning of 2025, and I've grown it to over 200 members. I run an online advertising agency for school owners, and using the exact same framework you are going to learn in this training, I grew that agency to $10,000 in less than 3 months. It is also the exact same framework I use to grow the Coaching Hub, which is a private online community I own, which offers business advice exclusively to coaches. I grew that community to more than 1,000 coaches in less than 6 months. I signed up for school and started building out this community at the end of September 2025. I officially launched the Coaching Hub at the end of October 2025, and in less than 2 weeks, we grew it to 251 coaches. 4 months later, I grew the Coaching Hub to over 1,000 coaches who are all there to grow their coaching businesses and connect with other coaches who are there to do the same. Using the exact same framework you are going to learn in this training, I grew my coaching business to $5,000 a month, working less than 8 hours a week while full-time employed. But these are my results, and what you should be asking yourself is, does this work for other people? Well, here are some client testimonials straight from my Coaching Hub community. James, hey guys, I just wanted to share a win. I got clear on my path and who I was helping on a call last week with Nathan J. Bishop, and I got my first 2 paying members in his community, he goes on to say. Refilwe signed another client using the Profitable Coach Roadmap. 2 months after signing up to work with Coach Nathan J. Bishop, I landed my first 2 paying clients. Today, I just signed another client, and honestly, I didn't go out looking, which means the marketing system we built for Refilwe is clearly doing its job. Pelokazi, first audit call, first paying client. Mike, signed 11 clients using the Profitable Coach Roadmap. Now, there are tons more client wins in my private online community, but I want to go back to a testimonial that dates back to the 15th of May 2021. It's by Hugh McCabe. It reads, Nathan is a true professional with helping businesses grow and get more customers. I have never met anyone who is so passionate about helping others succeed and doing it in the most professional way. Nathan knows digital marketing better than anyone else I have ever worked with and really makes an effort to understand your business goals and objectives before giving advice and offering his services. Now, I showed you this for two reasons. Number one, so you know that I haven't been in this since yesterday. But number two, because any coach, any business coach can get online and make big, bold, hairy, audacious promises. Anyone can do it. Only a few coaches can back up these bold promises with personal proof and client wins. Coach, while going through this framework, I want you to understand that this framework could 100% change your life and your business. So take it seriously. Get rid of all distractions in your house. Maybe put on some earphones and get a notebook and pen or something to take notes, because this framework is proven in that not only has it generated results for me, it has generated results for my clients too. And I'm certain it will do the same for you. Now that that's out the way, let's dive into the Profitable Coach Roadmap. You see, coach, the first thing you must establish to go from a self-employed coach to building a highly profitable coaching business is, what business model should you be leveraging? Choosing a business model is much like choosing a mode of transportation. The length of the journey in relation to the time you would like to reach the destination determines the mode of transportation you should be using. If the journey has shorter reward cycles, like hours worked equal hours paid, which is why no work, no pay makes sense, then you manually doing the work, you doing everything, will be enough to reach the destination. This is exactly what employment is. If you need to travel 1,000 kilometers in 24 hours, then walking in the right direction won't help you. You are setting yourself up for failure. You need a mode of transport. There is a parallel to this in business. This is the problem with being a self-employed coach. You set out to build a coaching business only to create a job for yourself, a job that requires much more time and pays you way less money than a regular 9-to-5 and is slowly leading you to the point of burnout. You're going to quit on both your business and your dream. The answer to sales, it's you. The answer to marketing, you again. The answer to fulfillment or client delivery, that's you again. If you choose to go down this route, you will be a very busy bee, but you will get very little done. But when you build a business, you will not get paid for doing the work. You're not an employee anymore. You are a business builder. And so for that reason, you will not get paid for doing the work. Instead, you will get paid when the system you are working on works, when it is valuable. And when it is valuable, you will drive transformational impact for your clients and generate predictable, meaningful income for yourself. And you will do this without jeopardizing your health, your happiness, or your relationships. So ask yourself, coach, have you built a business for yourself, or have you just created a job for yourself? Do you have a sales, marketing, and fulfillment system, or is your approach to business, I will do everything? Let this be your biggest takeaway from this training. Choosing to operate your business as a self-employed coach isn't choosing a business model. It's choosing not to have a business model, which is the equivalent of trying to walk 1,000 kilometers in 24 hours. You are setting yourself up for failure. Running your coaching business as a self-employed coach is the wrong way to grow your coaching business. Which brings us to the old way to run a coaching business. And doing things this way is operating from a disadvantage. Here's what it looks like. You need a physical location. You need in-person coaching. It's likely one-on-one. This requires much greater start-up and operating capital to run the business. Just think rent, utilities, wages, maybe even transportation. The list goes on, which is why you have much lower profit margins, typically between 20 to 30% profit margins. And the biggest disadvantage by far is this. You have a very small TAM. TAM stands for Total Addressable Market. In other words, you are limiting the amount of impact you can drive for your ideal clients and the amount of income you can generate for your business by geography. Coach, Do not go down this route. Do not choose to run your business at a disadvantage. Which brings me to the third and final business model, and this is the new way to build your coaching business. Choosing to do things this way is choosing to operate from an advantage. Here's what it looks like. You build your entire coaching business online as opposed to building it in person. The nature of your offering is digital. Just think ebooks, online courses, online communities, live group coaching sessions. That's the nature. Instead of just coaching one-on-one, you coach one-to-many. And because of this, you could start and run your business with little to no capital. In other words, the startup and operating capital is very small, which is why you have much greater profit margins. I'm not talking percentages here. I'm talking 3x, 6x, 10x returns on your investment. And one of the biggest advantages is this: because there are 5 billion active internet users, if even 0.001% of users are your ideal clients, that means that you have 5 million people who could potentially benefit from your coaching program. But this is my favorite advantage by far. You can run your coaching business from anywhere provided you have a laptop and access to a stable internet connection. This is called location freedom. Coach, do not try to build your business as a self-employed coach, and do not try to leverage the old way of building a coaching business. Take full advantage of the internet and this digital age and grow your coaching business on easy mode. Now, there are 3 core components to building your coaching business leveraging this new model. Without all 3 components, you will not truly grow a scalable coaching business. Without the first component, you are still operating as a self-employed coach. Now, it is very important that you build out the system in this order. The first thing you must do to go from self-employed coach to building a truly scalable and profitable coaching business is this: you must clarify and validate your coaching offer. This is the foundation of your coaching business, and it supports everything else we will build. If you've tried sales and marketing before but have seen very little results, it's because you did not lay this firm foundation. Your coaching offer is simply this: what you do, who you help, and how you help them. When you can communicate your offer to your ideal clients in a way they perceive as valuable, when you can communicate your ideal clients' pain and deepest desires better than they can, they will naturally assume you have the solution. This will position you as an expert. Once you can do this, your coaching offer is clear. When you have testimonials, whether written or video, of other people who state that your coaching program can do what it promises it can do, your coaching program is validated. Now, why is this important? Well, the difference between the coaches who are winning online and the coaches who aren't winning online isn't making bold promises. It's having proof to back up those promises. Once you have testimonials of other people saying your coaching program can do what it says it can do, your coaching program is validated. Once you have clarified and validated your coaching offer, you must now build a sales and marketing system that attracts total strangers on social media and moves them into your sales process, thus creating leads. And then you must convert a percentage of those leads into paying clients. But again, this is not about posting daily on social media without getting results, or jumping on calls with strangers to try to convince them that you can help them solve a problem they haven't even admitted they have in the first place. This is not about that. This is about building a system that will do that work for you at scale. Now, before I show you how to build a sales and marketing system that will help you grow your business, here's what most coaches think about sales and marketing. And this is what keeps them busy on social media. It makes them waste money on paid advertising. It might even grow them a social media following. But when it is all said and done, it does not grow their coaching business. You see, most coaches understand that getting clients involves sales and marketing. Some coaches think that sales and marketing are 2 very different approaches to getting clients. Marketing is seen as how you post content and magically get strangers on social media to give you their hard-earned cash in exchange for your coaching program. And sales, when they think of sales, most coaches think of telesales. This naturally leads to most coaches choosing a marketing-first approach to client acquisition. But then, what exactly is marketing? Well, If they do enough research, most coaches will land on these two things. A paid approach to marketing, let's call this advertising, and a free approach to marketing, let's call this branding. Paid advertising is seen as a short-term strategy to grow in your business. If you need to make money now, you need to invest in paid ads, they say. So this kind of thinking leads to coaches running paid advertising campaigns and selling directly to strangers on social media. Branding is seen as a long-term strategy to grow in your business. The way to win in the long run is to build trust with your audience. That way, they will see you as an expert. And once they see you as an expert, it will naturally lead to them wanting to work with you. This is what they think. And because they think this leads to coaches posting content showing people how to solve their problems on social media. For coaches who think about marketing this way, marketing is never a question of this and that, but rather this or that. This being advertising and that being branding. If you need money in the short term, you need to run paid ads. If you're prepared to play the long game, you need to build a brand. This is what most coaches think. Here's the thing. None of this leads to them actually growing their business or generating any income. Not because paid advertising or branding is wrong, but because their approach to paid advertising and branding is wrong. Yes, paid advertising will increase your reach online in that more people will see your posts when you publish them. But paid advertising will not build trust with strangers on social media, which means if you sell your coaching program to 1,000 strangers on social media who do not trust you, you will get 1,000 no's. Sales is only a numbers game once trust is dialed in. Coach, do not sell your offer directly to strangers on social media. Yes, branding is how you build trust with your audience, but branding will not grow you an audience. How do you assume people are going to find your content? How much longer do you think it will take until the right people find your content? And how much content do you have to put out for a meaningful number of people to see your content who want to work with you? If you go down this route of teaching people how to solve their problem on social media, one of two things will happen. Neither will grow your business. Either you will post into a void 7 days a week and you will do this for months, even years, and you will get 1 or 2 comments, maybe some likes. You might even start growing a following, but when it's all said and done, you will not be generating any income and you will not grow your business. But your thinking is you're in this for the long haul, so you'll continue to post anyway. Or you will grow a social media following of people whom you've accustomed to expect free value from you in the form of content. You will grow an audience of passive consumers of information, not action takers. And action takers become paying clients. Coach, do not commit to making posts 7 days a week in the hopes that one day, somewhere down the line, you will eventually grow enough trust with your audience for them to become paying clients. Don't do it. Paid advertising and branding are not inputs for which the output is sales. Sales and marketing is a 3-component system which produces a very predictable outcome, income. Now, there are 3 core components to every sales and marketing system. Number 1, advertising, which is how you attract your ideal clients on social media and drive them into your sales process. Number 2, branding, which is how you build trust with the people who are already in your sales process, those leads. And number 3, sales, which is how you predictably convert a percentage of people in your sales process into paying clients. Let's deal with the first, advertising. We do not measure the efficacy of advertising by how many posts we publish on social media, how large our social media following is growing, how many likes we get, how many comments we get, or how many shares or downloads we get. These are vanity metrics because you cannot cash them in the bank and they will not grow your business. You are a coach running a business, not a social media influencer. The sole purpose of advertising is to move your ideal clients off social media and move them into your sales process, thus generating leads. That is it. If your social media efforts aren't moving your ideal clients off social media into your sales process, you are wasting your time. Now, the way you do this is to publish content on social media that makes your ideal clients problem aware. They must say, this is a problem. An upgrade from awareness is admission. They must say, yes, this is a problem, and now I can see that I have this problem. Making your ideal clients problem aware will point out their pain. Pointing out their pain will create a desire within them to remove the pain. Desire is what leads to taking action. And as already stated, taking action is what leads to paying clients. Which is why at the end of every single piece of content you put out on social media, you will add a call to action, a micro call to action. Micro because you aren't asking for the sale just yet, but still a call to action because you are leading them into your sales process. Here's what that will look like. Now that you know what the problem is, why it's so important that you solve it, what the consequences are of not solving this problem, if you want to learn how to solve this problem, take this next easy step with me. That next easy step could be subscribe to my email list, join my private online community, or jump on a discovery call with me. Let's move on to branding. As mentioned, yes, branding is how you build trust with your audience, but branding will not grow you an audience. Thanks to advertising, you've now driven strangers on social media into your sales process. You now have leads, which means you have an audience to build trust with. To build trust with your ideal clients, you must make them solution aware. You must show them what to do to solve their problem. You must show them why it's so important that they do things this way. And you must show them what the benefits of having said problem solved are. You must show them all of this, but you must not show them how to solve their problem. Here's why. Showing them what to do, why it's important, and what the benefits are will create within them a desire to want to know how. How do I solve this problem? How exactly can I implement this for my situation? That desire of wanting to know how is what leads to taking action. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. Action takers lead to paying clients. Which is why at the end of this content, you will put another micro call to action telling them, if you want to learn how to solve your problem, jump onto a discovery or sales call with me. Then finally, there's the sales component. Now, sales isn't about trying to convince strangers that you can help them solve their problems. Not at all. You're a coach. And as a coach, your only job when it comes to sales is to create the conditions for a sale to take place. Now, there are two conditions, positioning and tension. Let's deal with the first, positioning. You must first position yourself as an expert in the minds of your target audience. When you reach out to your ideal clients to try and convince them that you can help them solve a problem they haven't even admitted to having in the first place, you are positioned, best case scenario, as a telesalesperson. Worst case scenario, you are positioned as a scammer. However, when your ideal clients reach out to you to jump on a call with you because they already believe that you can help them solve their problems, you have now positioned yourself as an expert. You must create the conditions for your ideal clients to reach out to you to jump on a call with you. That way, you are positioned as an expert. The second requirement is tension, more specifically supply-demand tension. You must clearly demonstrate that there are way more people who would want to work with you in theory than you have the capacity or desire to serve in the first place. Now, in my view, nothing does this better than an online community. When you have hundreds or even thousands of people who could in theory work with you, this signals to everybody else, if we want to work with this coach, we must act swiftly. And then finally, you never have to try and sell your clients into working with you. Here's my approach. Give them everything. Give them a game plan. Show them exactly what you would do to help them solve their problems. And then if they'd like your help with the implementation, you extend an invitation and show them your offer. That is it. No need for psychological trickery or sleazy sales tactics. All you need to do is serve your ideal clients. When you leverage the Profitable Coach Roadmap, marketing equals filling your pipeline with fresh leads, not constantly posting on social media without getting any results. When you leverage the Profitable Coach Roadmap, people will reach out to you to jump on a call with you because they already believe that you can help them solve their problems, not the other way around, thus positioning you as an expert. And when you leverage the Profitable Coach Roadmap, you build a business that improves the quality of your health, your happiness, and your relationships as opposed to destroying it. Now, why do I understand? You see, coach, I did not get into business out of motivation, but desperation. What I now know and teach about business isn't based on something I learned in a conventional education institution, but it is based on real life, my life. In 2017, two monumental events took place in my life. First, I registered to complete my studies in mechanical engineering. This I did by day full-time. And secondly, I began working night shift for the first time in my professional career, which means I did 8 hours of school during the day and 8 hours of work during the night, and then I had to fit the rest of my life into the remaining 8 hours. I did that for an entire year. At the end of 2017, another two monumental events took place in my life. First, I completed my studies in mechanical engineering and everybody said, yay! And secondly, I was let go, aka fired from my job in maintenance engineering. Damn. This was the exact job that my wife, son, and I depended on for our survival. I was the sole breadwinner in my home, so losing that job would mean that we would lose everything. And that is exactly what happened. We lost everything. We had to move from the house we had come to call home. We lost our car, depleted our savings, and after moving from family member to family member, we ended up moving in with my wife's younger brother, and I was sleeping on the couch. I could not reconcile my current position in the economy, broke and unemployed, with my position in the home, husband and father, protector and provider. And despite going for countless job interviews, which all ended with, "You're perfect and we'll get back to you," only no one ever did, the only inconsistent and insignificant income I managed to secure during those days was through music. I could sing, and so that's exactly what I did. I sang and I taught other people how to sing too. But this was an absolute struggle because there is a huge difference between being a decent vocal coach and being an entrepreneur. From 2018 to 2020, I eventually grew my vocal coaching business to a point where it not only changed our lives, it saved us. I had cracked the code to turning my passion into profit. And suddenly, I had a deep desire within to help others do the same. In 2021, I landed a new job in engineering, but I continued to run my vocal coaching business and I started developing myself as a digital entrepreneur. I developed a coaching program and worked with over 100 people to show them how to turn their passion into profit. I documented the entire process and even wrote a book, The Passion to Profit Formula. This is how I sold my book, it's how I sold my course, and then it's how I sold my coaching. Then, in September of 2025, I launched the Coaching Hub. Now, by this time, I had already grown my paid online community, The Passion to Profit Formula, to 200 paying members. And in less than 6 months, I grew the Coaching Hub to over 1,000 coaches. From this, I also grew my coaching business to $5,000 plus per month, working less than 8 hours a week while full-time employed. Now, I'm not telling you this to impress you, but to impress upon you the importance of transitioning from self-employed coach to building a system, choosing a business model, and building your business. But here is the hard truth. There is an enemy to your business success, and it is this: generic information. Just think about it. How many books have you read on business building, but you are still struggling to grow your business? How many YouTube videos have you not watched on business building, but still little to no progress? How many hours of podcast episodes have you not listened to, yet here you are? In truth, even this training, though based on my lived experience, my highs, my lows, my victories, even this training offers you generic information because it does not consider your strengths and weaknesses, your opportunities and threats, and where you are in your business journey. Coach, even this training offers you generic information. You don't just need to know that this framework has worked for me or that it's worked for my past clients. What you need to know is how you can make this framework work for you. The information must be tailored to your unique situation. Otherwise, the framework will not work. But don't worry, I got you. As a reward for going through this training, the Profitable Coach Roadmap, you now have an opportunity to book a free 45-minute one-on-one coaching call with me. I call it the Profitable Coach Audit and Action Plan. On this call, we'll look at your business and where you are in your business journey through the lens of sales, marketing, and fulfillment to identify the constraints that are preventing you from growing your business. Because here's the thing, if you remove the constraints, you will grow your business. And then, based on our findings, I'll give you a tailor-made plan based on the Profitable Coach Roadmap that you can use to grow your coaching business to $5,000 plus per month without sacrificing your health, your happiness, or your relationships. And the best part of all, this will not be cookie cutter generic advice. It will be based on your unique situation. To access the audits, all you need to do is click on the link below this video. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'll have a pinned comment, the first comment under this video. So just click on the comment section and click on the link, and that's how you'll book the audit. It has been my pleasure going through the Profitable Coach Roadmap with you. I look forward to connecting with you, and I'll catch you inside the audit.